Okay, so by now, everybody knows that Trump's tax returns have come out. And I'm not going to go through this line item by line item because I don't think that's the important part. Nothing that was on there surprised me. The fact that he doesn't pay taxes and all his ridiculous write-offs, millions of dollars in consulting fees towards his daughter Ivanka, $70,000 he writes off in haircuts. I don't even know how that's a thing, but he did it. That's not the question I want to ask. The question I want to ask is why some people think it's smart what he's doing, and some people think that it's shady. Donald Trump said famously in that debate with Hillary Clinton that it makes him smart that he doesn't pay taxes. And the fact that he can hire hundreds of accountants at reputable accounting firms to look for loopholes so that he doesn't have to pay taxes is one issue. We could argue that we should change the tax laws, and we've been looking to do that, and they cannot find a way to simplify the tax laws. But there's always going to be the shysters at the top who have enough money and have the means to be able to always beat the system. And that's what this is about. That's the issue here. It's the same issue for me as, do you think that a person who serves their country is a hero, or do you think they're a loser? Do you think that John McCain, for getting captured and for being tortured and not telling our secrets, is a hero, or do you think he's a sucker? I don't even think it's a question. Do you think that it's a good thing that he dodged the draft and didn't serve his country when called upon? That he got bone spur deferments and he can't even tell you which foot it's on? I don't think that's cool. I mean, I understand that there are mothers who have children and don't want their kids to go to war. I get that. We're not talking about that. This guy's a coward, and he's insulting other people in the same breath. Do you think it's okay how he's not just had however many affairs that he's had, but he has this affair with this porn star that he pays off, and he was having unprotected sex with her while his wife is home nursing his son? Business as usual with him. Now, I know a lot of guys who are like that. You know, that's not the end of the world for your regular Joe, but that's not the person who should be running the country, because he just makes his problems go away. He's not doing business in the United States with legitimate lending sources. He's not going to banks in the United States to borrow his money. They won't do business with him anymore. They've learned a long time ago that he does not pay his debts when they become due. When they come due, he bails, claims bankruptcy, he's out, they're out the money. So he has to go to other countries, and he is not going to the countries like just doing business with Justin Trudeau in Canada or with Angela Merkel in Germany or in Great Britain. He is doing business with all of the strong arm, like communist guys like Vladimir Putin in Russia, with Erdogan in Turkey, with the Saudi Crown Prince in the United Arab Emirates. These are like the scummiest, shadiest guys. And the reason why I don't know a lot about them is because there's never been a United States president who would legitimize them by even mentioning them in the same breath, let alone giving them the platform on a global stage to become credible, to pull up a credible chair at the table. I mean, that's what he's done. This, the Saudi Crown Prince, who's really good friends with Jared and Ivanka, he's the guy who got nailed for the Jamal Khashoggi murder. That's the Washington Post journalist who went to go get a marriage license in the embassy, and he got murdered and dismembered in the embassy and brought out in suitcases by the Crown Prince's people, thugs. So they find out that his spending habits went up big time in 2011, 2012, Trump's spending habits. He was buying golf courses. He bought the Doral in 2012. And he was getting all this money from somewhere to be able to pay for these transactions. Okay, that's one little piece, because that's important in that. Why was it golf courses? Where was he doing it? They find out that there's this guy in Azerbaijan, which is a small country next to Russia, who's an oligarch who gets all his money from Vladimir Putin. He's another mob boss from another country. And guess what business he's in? He's in the golf course business. So they're going to backtrack this and they're going to find out where it comes from. This isn't going to go unsolved forever, but we just don't know how long it's going to take because Trump is the master of buying himself time with lawsuits and disguising it as something else. In this case, he's disguising it as an audit with the IRS. Okay, the other thing is, and the big piece of this from a moral standpoint is he devalues everything he owns to not pay taxes. And then when he wants to borrow more money just to spend for the heck of it, he jacks up the values. So he's playing both sides of the system. I don't think that's smart. I think that's corrupt. I also think the people who dodged the draft, I don't call that courageous. I don't think that's smart. I think that's cowardly. And I understand it from a mother's standpoint, why she wouldn't want to send her child to war. But nothing gets me more than when I see a proud parent of a service member, like a parent who is proud that their kid is serving and fighting for our freedoms and fighting for our country, putting their lives on the line. I don't even know how they do that. That's how fucking courageous I think they are. And the audacity of that man to insult people like John McCain, that he was shot down and captured and put up with torture for over a year and didn't give up any of our secrets. That's a fucking hero. I don't know. I could never do that. I'd be the worst prisoner ever. I don't even know what the makeup is of a man who does something like that. And that is something that Trump cannot relate to, and he must insult and bully and diminish because it's the only way he can make himself feel good about himself. So he is a danger. He is a cheat. He is a liar. He is a coward, and he is no good. He has got to go. He's got to go. And the last thing I want to say, and I want to post a link on this, there's a podcast that I've been listening to, and I just heard a really amazing interview. They were meeting with and talking to this guy. His name's Miles Taylor, and he's a security specialist. He was actually the chief of staff to the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. A young guy, really smart, lifetime Republican. I want you to listen to this interview, okay? I am telling you, it is like nothing you've ever heard. If you don't want to listen to the whole thing, go 10 minutes in and start there, okay? It will blow you away. It will tell you everything you need to know. I don't want to say any more. It's that insane. Just listen to it. It'll take 10 minutes of your time. It's worth it. Okay, that's all I got. Oh my God, I hope that made sense. I'm rambling so fast to make these go by faster. Sorry.